Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dariad. This is an Eagle Rising, mainly an Eagle Rising mod for Mount and Blade Bannerlord, but it is part of a mod pack collection on Nexus, which I will be releasing the link to in the description below. And another mod I want to draw the attention to is also AI Influence, which is a new mod which I suppose is in the same sort of sphere as Chat AI, but I will be making use of this mod because it's promised the world, basically. It's supposed to be an extremely dynamic AI sort of thing, and I'm going to be testing it out. But anyway, who is our character? Our character is Dareios Tziras. Tziras meaning lizard in Greek. He's basically he's half Greek. He has a Greek mother and a Roman father. He's sort of seen as being, if you're Greek, he's seen Dareios is seen as being Roman, but if you're Roman, he's seen as being Greek. He kind of doesn't fit evenly into either sphere of life. Anyway, forgive me if I don't sound too enthusiastic, because I've done 2 different runs on a different mod, the Tides of War mod, but it just wasn't work. It had some bugs. They're going to be fixed, and maybe I'll go and do a campaign on that. But instead, I have done a little test run as in the Eagle Rising, and it all works. So I'll show you the map. The map is Lemmy's map of Europe, but it also goes pretty far east. And yeah. So Dareios is going to be in the service of the Western Empire, and I've written a custom thing for the chat for AI Influence, which explains what the world is and whatnot. Although I use ChatGPT to write it, and I am using, just to get all the housework out of the way. Oh, that's not what we're using at all. We are meant to be using times by 4. There we go. I will be using the Bannerlord cheats. Bannerlord cheats. I can't even remember the name of the bot now. Bannerlord cheats reloaded or something to multiply all the modifiers by 4. So yes, but the house rule is in effect that I can't trade at 2 places in a row. Like if I buy something in Roma, I can't just immediately sell it back to Roma. I have to sell it back to somewhere else. Okay, so the first step is to make 100,000 dinars, because that's a nice healthy amount, although my character will not... well, in Rome it was expected you would have to have at least 1,000,000 denarii or sesterci, which is a sestercius being a quarter of a dinar in wealth. If you were a senator, you had to resign from the Senate. But anyway, my character does want to be a senator. He wants to have honors and be a great figure and really earn people's esteem. So his father was a magistrate, but at the moment he is serving as a military tribune, and I had some fun and made his banner the 13th Legion because of Legion 13 in the show Rome. So let's do some trading. Actually, let's get some, if possible, let's get some troops. No one to hire. Yeah, well, here are our yeah, right. Okay. Sorry, I just got confused. Actually, I'm just gonna pause and check something quick. Never mind, we're back. Okay, so the first thing to do is to start trading, because we need wealth. So, we only have 1,000 dinars to start with, but we're going to... do that. And house rule is in effect. I can't just immediately sell this back to Roma. And because I have the ×4 modifier in effect, I would be selling it at 4 times the price I bought it for. So if I wanted to be sneaky, I could do that, but I'm not going to. Let's go to Ancona. And if we get the opportunity... Oh, rebels. If we get the opportunity, recruiting would be a good idea. Basically, I want to be able to get at least to 100 1,000 dinars and have one battle underway before I end this episode. This is going to be a long episodic format.
Oi, what have we here? There's a tax for passage in these parts, traveller. Paid either in coin or in blood.
You know what? I can beat these people. It's going to be long. But, oh well. It's going to take a long time for me to fight this battle because at the start of the game you're equipped with a You know what? Actually, I'm going to take advantage of the RTS camera.
Everyone, give 'em hell!
And I'm going to make use of the My character does have ×4 healing on, so I'm just going to hope that my character lives. Yep, and we did. Oh, because yes, one of the mods in the mod pack is the reinforcement system. If there's someone who's nearby who likes you, they will come to your aid. But then if there's someone nearby who hates you, they will fight for your enemy. So yeah, we managed to do that nice and quick. Oh well. Oh well that our guy died, I mean. I'm just going to pause. The loading actually, never mind. The loading times in this game can be a little bit long because it's a very big mod pack and the map is quite big, so yeah. Anyway, as I was gonna say at the start of the battle, this gladius, which is the sword, it's thrust only, and I mean you can switch it so that it becomes a slashing weapon, but it's primarily meant to be a thrusting weapon, and it's incredibly difficult to work with. So we don't have anything to sell. If we can get a Sparta, that would be nice. I'm just gonna get this axe, and you can take my gladius. Roman using an axe. I'm sure people would not be appreciative of that. Okay. Anyway, yes, this is going to be a long episodic sort of format. A chronicle, basically, and... Oh, gosh, I made the same mistake again. I've made this mistake before where I don't buy enough food for my men. Oh, gosh, I'm cruel. We should have at least 3 weeks supply at all times. Putting focus points into trade to increase the level cap. So I'm going to do this in the exact fight formations because phalanxes and whatnot are key. And we'll put some points into... well, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to put them into steward, but oh well. We'll go with what we know. Sorry, I'm a bit rambling. Focus points into one-handed, trade, and steward. Steward because it allows you to recruit more troops. So we want to sell all goods, and we need carrying capacity. And we do have the skill mastery mod. That's one of the mods in the mod pack. So once we go above the top amount of skill, we can actually fill in these other perks that we aren't taking. My character is going to be a strong, powerful barbarian, and I'm role-playing that he is a pagan because in the 3rd century, which this is supposed to be set in, the Roman world was sort of split between Christianity and paganism, and I'm going that my character is a pagan. I am not a pagan, obviously. I'm going to say this once, and hopefully not reference it again for my YouTube career. I'm a Catholic. I'm just putting it out there because I feel like I shouldn't be afraid of my faith. But anyway, my faith is my own. That's that. Now, it took me a long time to think to actually get the courage to say that. Anyway, we have enough. Oh wait, did I can't remember if... No, I sold to Neapolis, so I can't sell back. Whatever. It's the nearest city. Really? All the way there? Okay, we'll try. Oh, I suppose we can recruit while we're here. Oh, and I just realized the reason why it said I could recruit 47 people before and now it's 22 is because I had a different setting in the Bannerlord cheats reloaded where I could recruit more people, but it's defaulted to the, well, not defaulted, it's down to times by 4. For testing, I made a character, made them super powerful, and went and conquered Tunis, except it's under a different name, or maybe that's where Carthage was in real life. Sorry for burping, and yeah. Yeah, I did it, and it all worked well, and there were no bugs, so I decided I'm just going to use this mod rather than Tides of War. Tides of War is very interesting. It's just need something that works. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, you know, like the towns do have or the villages do have a little bit of gold, so it's not, you know, a terrible idea to sell to villagers. Oh yeah, I do need to be in there. I just got confused. Sorry, I'm just sort of rushing this in my mind because I've done this twice already, and I'm just sort of ahead of myself, and I've been a bit stressed recently. But you know, that's the story of my life. Night Runner, because we want the advantage if we're chasing someone. Sorry, this might not be the most well thought out explanation of all the things I'm doing, but oh well. The bugs in question for Tides of War were to do with the equipment that the troops were carrying, and I had a party, I had some troops that were bugged, I got rid of them, and then I managed to fight a battle, and then I promoted my troops, and those troops were bugged, so, you know, it's only in beta stage, people are still working it out. I'm not angry at the mod authors of Tides of War for that, you know, in fact, I would really like to do a Let's Play of set in the reign of Alexander the Great, and maybe work on building the Republic of Rome. But we'll see. Well, we're getting we're nearly a quarter of the way to our target goal. The problem is we don't want to take too much stuff, because if we can't carry it, then we won't be. We'll probably get attacked by bandits because we'll be going so slowly. Actually, let's just always increase your skills because you get more value. Now this, we want to, if we ever, you see those two things, sorry if I go a bit slower, the first renown from every workshop and renown from every caravan. We're not going to be using caravans because we don't have that many, well, we won't have that many, I think, companions to just throw around, so instead we're going to work on workshops as passive income. And speaking of passive income, this gives you a 0.1 interest of income every day. Like, well, basically it says it right there, but if you have a certain amount, you will always be generating 1,000 dinars every day, so it's good for passive income. We want this because we don't have a governed settlement, but we only pay half wages to parties when we're in a settlement, so yeah. All about keeping costs down. Actually, on the topic of keeping costs down, when Julius Caesar was consul of Rome, he had to pass a reform that 1/3 of all agrarian work, so farming and whatnot, had to be done by freedmen, veterans, or citizens. It couldn't be done by slaves because so many plantations and farms and whatnot were being worked by slaves that there was no paid work, and so people were pouring into the cities like Rome and whatnot to try and find employment, which was causing, the city to be overburdened. So yeah, in order to help with the population and unemployment, he had to pass that law, which was very controversial in the Senate because a lot of plantation owners had senators bought and paid for. So yeah, plantation owners were not happy that their profits were being dwindled because of Caesar, and their senators who they were bribing to keep the status quo in place were also not happy because their clients weren't happy. Okay, so it's a bit of history for you. When a town is captured by the enemy, because as I said, we're not going to be having caravans. We're going to increase the value of our trade items. We're not ever going to have mercenary troops, I'm pretty sure. And we're definitely going to get Spring of Gold when we can. Okay, now I just sold my goods. I'm just going to see if they have horses. Okay, they do have horses, but not the ones I want. So we want work horses. They probably have some in Volsny. Here we go. Oh, we don't want a palfrey. Well, we should be at 100,000 dinars pretty soon, which is the category of rich in this game. And if you're ever, it seems to be like the main deciding factor as to whether your character, if you're in a faction when the faction leader dies, if that your character inherits the throne, is the how much money you have. So if you're in the very rich category, which is 1 million dinars, most likely you're going to be the one who is chosen, although there are mods that sort of balance the AI that they will consider other candidates. Anyway, they haven't had time to sell off their goods, so we are just going to get as much as we can carry. We don't have any grain, so we know... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. We don't have any grain, was what I was saying, so we know we can just sell all of it. Although eventually I will have to get more diverse food, because the more diverse food you have and the more that you have that you can carry, the more your stewardship skill goes up. Getting there slowly. I think we should just go in a triangle. Neapolis, Ancona, and Rome. Although it could be that... one of them is, I'm just basically taking goods I've already sold to the city and just selling them to another city, but that's not what the house rule is. The house rule is you can't sell to the same settlement twice in a row, so take advantage of the rule. And this is my Let's Play, so, at the end of the day, I produce the content. They've run out of money. As you can see, this is how much money the settlement actually has. So obviously, if you run out, there's no point in... If they run out, there's no point in keep selling things to them because they won't be able to pay it off. Mana means... Yeah, because you can bribe faction leaders of enemy clans, or also other clans, into joining your faction, and depending on how much they like you, the price will be less, but generally it costs quite a bit. And yes, you can now trade settlements and barter. So because you can barter with other players in the game, if whoever owns the city of Ancona, for instance, you could offer them money in exchange for it to buy Ancona. And my character will be rich enough to do that. Wealth was important in Roman time, but it wasn't prestigious to be wealthy. Prestige came through military victories, which is Marcus Licinius Crassus, who was the wealthiest man in all of Rome. during the time of Caesar, and he was Caesar's, you know, sort of partner in crime. He was part of the first triumvirate. He was fabulously wealthy. They've sort of using estimates of how much trade value was worth, or how many they can assign. I think, okay, what am I trying to say? Forbes did an estimate of people throughout history and the amount of workers they could hire, and gave them and took all these people throughout history and sort of gave them a value that would be consistent for all of them. Crassus, at the time, in nowadays terms, would have had a value, a net worth of 500 million US dollars, which doesn't sound like much considering we have billionaires, but back in the time, that would have been worth a tremendous amount. Although people think, you know, people say that Elon Musk is going to be the world's first trillionaire, or maybe Jeff Bezos will be. But I think Forbes has done another study, and they did the study of Augustus and his net worth, considering he was emperor and theoretically, well, I think because he actually owned not just, you know, property in Rome, but he owned the empire. His net worth is $4 trillion. So we already have a trillionaire. It's just not in US currency. And yes, they don't have enough money, but we have made it above the 140,000, I mean the 100,000 cap, so that I set for myself. And we can finally, everything has a price, and now we have unlocked the entire trade perk tree, and we are now a master. So let's put 3 points into steward, 2 into athletics. Now let's just put all 5 into athletics, because we are going to be fighting on foot, I imagine. And the next we will put into riding or something, so that we're good on foot and on land. We want to be speediest at all times, and this is very similar to what I had in the first 2 campaigns, the ones that didn't go well. But yeah. Okay, so now just get a troop. We want to find. I'm going to save the game because I really don't want to lose my progress. I am keeping that times by 12. That's the one where my testing. The multipliers are all times by 12. That's for testing. Not debugging, but for basically cheating and testing concepts. But I won't be using that campaign. That'll be for fun after I'm done, or maybe in private or something where I conquer the world. But yes, time to go find something to kill. Actually, possible? I will get a sword. Oh no, I've already got an axe, so I don't need a sword. No, actually, I will go the short sword because, why not? I should get more. Oh, we've already. Okay, I will diversify our food. Oh, we don't need hardwood. Because I need more stewardship skill. Or just steward skill, it's not stewardship. Barbarians, yes. Always mind your surroundings. And look, steward is going up. Warrior's diet, it means that you don't... Well, actually, let me just go back and show it. 10% less food consumption and no morale penalty for having a single type of food. So if it comes down to it and we only have grain, people won't complain that we only have grain. Yes, I have a problem. My problem is you. Now, I'm going to pause in between the loading screens of battles, because this mod does take a while. Actually, that was quicker than I expected, never mind. Yeah, so we're just going to do what we did before. This is the RTS camera mod. It allows us to have an overhead view of the battle, sort of like a Medieval 2 Total War or any other Total War. I guess Rome would be the better example, considering this is a Roman setting. But yes, a good thing to do is have your troops move in line formation, and then, just as they're about to hit the enemy, move into shield wall. And now we'll just let them stay there. Your character, the player character, will move around and act on their own. And now we wait. Although I am going to speed this up. It's barbarians versus, you know, even though we're low tier Romans, theoretically we should win this quite easily. Oh no, they were enemy barbarians. And they have shown up, but Oh. Why are Dacian mercenaries showing up? Huh. Yes, those barbarians came to help the other barbarians, but these Dacian mercenaries are on our side, apparently. You killed one of my men! That is going to cost you! So yeah, I said my character was a pagan, but I didn't say what god they worshipped. I'm gonna say they are a... They... This is not going well for me. Oh wait, here come the allies. Okay, so we lost 3 men. That person is wounded, but they'll recover. My character is a sort of devotee of Hades, is what I'm going to say. And in the lore of the character, it is predicted. This is a bit of poetic license to explain why he's so good at fighting. That he is actually a descendant of Hades. So that's just the little lore I'm going with, as in Lore. He's a descendant of Hades, and that's why he fights so well. And I'm not going to say, I'm not going to impose my personal beliefs into the game where my character is pagan, but I say that, you know, any particular god is real. It's going to be a case of, actually, you know what, this feels a bit disrespectful, but it's going to be like Tia Dolma in Pirates of the Caribbean, where she says, same story, different versions, and all are true. Religion won't have that much to do with it beyond rituals. Alright, let's sell our goods. Which isn't that much, but oh well. Fill our troops, and what we need is... or are some companions to work with. I love that they have the Rome Total War music in the background. Although the mod said it was called Attila Total War, but I've never played Attila, so I don't know if it has this. Handling? And we're not going to be using maces or axes, we're going to be using swords, so... full speed, we want to be quick. Tactics, we are... Plains, steppes, or deserts. Snowy and forest. I guess we're going to be mostly focusing on Western Europe, so we want to be good in, or quick in, the snow and foresty terrains. I always take, as a matter of... actually, I don't even know what expression I was going for, but I always take combat tips, because I figure you should give all of your troops a little bit of experience rather than having a small handful of troops have a little bit more. So yeah, I should put points into leadership, tactics, riding. Ultimately, I don't think there aren't an infinite number of levels in the game that you can get, so you can't max out all of these unless you're using cheats. But oh well, just have to make do. Now let me just check. Pause and check how long this recording has been going for.